Hello everybody. I want to show you one more exercise that you can use to help redirect the energy of a horse that might be a little bit on the hot side, a little bit of a runaway, especially in the trot. It's usually, where this shows up, and no matter what the reason for all of this is, it could be behavioral, it could be, temperament thing, it could be a hot horse, or a horse that has been traumatized and ridden too harshly, too much forward. So that might be sort of a response that is sort of ingrained now. But no matter what the reason, once you've excluded health issues, pain, any kind of tack or saddle fitting issues, or anything else that might cause the horse to be fearful or overly tense, when it's time to, ride a little bit more seriously, not saying that we're not serious when we're more just walking, but, you want to start at some point to help the horse understand that trot is not the running mode. And a lot of horses, have that sort of ingrained in their behavioral response to the leg. They make a rider feel as if you can't use the leg, and if you're still in that stage where you feel like your horse is barely tolerating your lower leg and your seat aids, and where you feel like you're almost forced to use a little bit of a boundary with the rein, too much so at times, then, if you're still in the beginning stages of all of that, then I would encourage you to look at some of my earlier videos, the walk and walk trot videos for hot horses. But if you're ready to go trot and expand a little bit on that, this exercise is for you. All right, so we're going to go into a little bit of a trot here, just going around, and you can see she's already just a little bit hectic in the beginning, and so I'm just going to go around here for a moment. And in order for her to not just go straight through me, I have to avoid large straight lines, which is inviting a horse to be in flight mode even more. So I'll stay on circular shapes and introduce the straight lines in small increments. So that's one important element. The other important element is to stay on the correct diagonal when you're posting the trot. Okay, so here we go. On the correct diagonal, on a 20-meter circle. The horse is maybe a little bit tense. So on the one side here, on this half, I'm going to flex Philly to the outside. And then on the other side of the half circle here, of the circle, I'm going to flex her into true flexion, looking to the inside a little bit. Coming by E or by B, I change to the outside flexion again. And what this does, it forces the horse to think about balance rather than running. And that is really one of those really, really important things. Once you establish that you want to go at a certain rhythm, now the horse says, okay, what else? Especially the hot ones, the runaway ones. So I'm going to mix this up a little bit. And I'm going to go onto a short diagonal here. I'm going to stay in between the quarter lines and go onto like a 10-meter circle here with outside flexion. As much quiet as I can. Take another short diagonal. And then again, a little bit of outside flexion on sort of this, whatever would be a half 10-meter circle perhaps. And again, straight, short diagonal, and a little bit of outside flexion. Right? So it's half circle with outside flexion connected by a short straight line in between the quarter lines. I hope you can see this, how this works. I hope my camera doesn't give in. She doesn't like it when I come a little bit close at times, but anyway, this is something that you can do almost like in a little bit of a meditative way. And your goal would be to go a little bit slower each time you come around. And the slowness comes from the horse having to balance on these smaller half circles than on this very short straight line. And then again, here we go. I'm using a little bit more knee pressure now. But you can see how she's starting to surrender to this pattern. And that's all I'm asking. And I'm doing this for quite a long time here, just so that you get an idea, and for demonstration purposes, of course. But you don't have to do it this long. Just do it for a few times, and then you get a little bit of a sense to how you can redirect your horse's energy. And then you're going to go, okay, good girl, walk long rein, and then when you feel like you have a good hold on this exercise, a whole good understanding for yourself and for your horse too, then you can make the half circles bigger until you eventually maybe ride from one half circle that is going around the center, 20-meter circle around X, to a longer diagonal straight across to the half circle that is on the other end of the arena at C or at A. And you're always continuing with the same idea. Outside flexion on the half circle, straightening on the diagonal, and then outside flexion on the next half circle, right? And what it really does, what you can do is to your horse, you can just say, here is something else for you to think about other than running. You have to, right? With some horses, you have to kind of make sure that you're not unbalancing them too much, and then you have to help them with your weight aids. So if you make the horse look to the outside when you're riding a circle, to, let's say, to the left, and you make the horse look to the right, you have to use perhaps a little bit more weight on your left stirrup when you're rising, or left seat bone when you're sitting, to help the horse still travel in a way that they don't feel like, oh my God, I have to kind of fall into the circle, right? And then your inside leg, of course, has to create a boundary so that the horse doesn't drift inwards, and that he or she understands that you're still meaning to ride whatever half circle you're on. And then on the straight line, you're going to become very focused on having your horse in between both legs, both hands, and on, both seat bones, as if you're creating this kind of tunnel-like structure for him or her. You're going through the tunnel, and then you're going to come around. I'm just going to do it here one more time, even in the walk. Make the horse look to the outside, and then straightening across. And you can do this in the walk too if you want to start with it. Anyway, I digress. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Philly. Hope this was helpful to you, and happy riding. Good girl.